guys, what's up? It's Stricken. Welcome back. Today's video is going to be about how to plug a tire while the tire is still on the vehicle. This happens to be a discussion that was just discussed in the Hyundai forums, and last night I discovered what? A screw in my tire. So let's zoom down on the tire and figure out how to do this. Alright guys, what we will need to successfully extract this screw from the tire and how to properly plug it is we're going to need a tire repair kit of any form. You could buy it at any Walmart or auto parts store. Inside we have a multitude of different tools and supplies. You have your basic tire plug. You're going to have a tire gauge in some of them, flimsy at best. You're going to have a scraper tool. We will not be needing this. And you're going to have round discs like this, which actually plug the tire from the inside if you can actually successfully remove it off the rim. We will not be needing these either. You have some cement. We will not be needing these. These get applied on the patch on the back of it. What we will be needing is this tool right here and this one right next to it, and these plugs. So you can set all the rest of this stuff aside and gather these tools and have them handy. Also, I have here a basic marker, like a paint marker. What we're going to do is we're going to circle the area of where the screw sits so we don't lose it. Because sometimes you might have to take the tire off the rim or take the wheel end tire off the vehicle, and you might lose the spot where this X happens to be. So if you can mark it in any way, any kind of marker will work. Next we're going to need is a competent air compressor. Something flimsy is probably going to give out on you, or it might not have the power capability to pump up an SUV tire. So a really good quality air compressor is your best bet to changing this roadside without having further issues. So let's get our supplies out and ready and start the process. Alright guys, now that we have our supplies and tools readily available, I also went ahead out of my trunk and grabbed one of each. We'll see which one works better. Some screws have a smaller head, so these might slip off. You might be able to get this underneath it. Some have a wider head. You might be able to get this one out easier with this style needle nose plier. But you should always have one of each in your trunk just in case. It makes the extraction a lot easier. So let's go ahead and pull this out. In some scenarios, it might be best to deflate the tire all the way because it'll be easier to take your tool and scrape the hole. Okay. Sometimes you can do without that process, so we're just going to have to work with it as it happens. I have not removed this screw yet. I have no idea what I'm facing with it yet. Sometimes it's, like I said, it's a little bit different. Maybe a tool will work, maybe a process will not work, so we just have to roll with it. So we're going to go ahead, and remember, you might want to use something to cover up as a shield, because you probably won't have goggles on the side of the road. You don't want this, because this tire is still under pressure to come ejecting out towards your face. So try to always peel it away from your face, and if you can, cover it up with something like this or maybe even a jacket, and try to grab a hold of this screw or nail and get it away from your face. Okay, now here's mine. It looks like a self-tapping screw. Okay, and mine unfortunately does not appear to have actually penetrated my tire all the way. Now there is one gross way and one proper way to detect that. One way, you can put some spit on your fingertip and put it on the hole, or use some soapy solution if you're near a garage. So it did not actually penetrate. It stayed in the tread and it did not go through the actual tire. So we will not actually be needing this process, but I will show you exactly what it's like to do this process if this tire did get penetrated. So what we're going to do is we obviously remove the screw. We'll probably be hearing a hissing sound coming from this hole, so we don't need to put spit or soapy solution on it. We will take our rod here. Okay, you can see it's gritty. And we will begin to jam it into the hole, okay, and pushing it all the way in and all the way out. Do that a couple times. That roughens up the texture of the inside of the hole, okay. We will then be taking tool number 2 and one of these pieces. All this pretty much is just a string dipped in tar, and putting it on this hook looking thing right in the center. Put it in. okay, like so. You then will put it into your hole. Force it all the way in. This is where having lost some air pressure can help you, because that air pressure coming out will be fighting against your muscles. So you're going to put it into the hole all the way in. You want maybe about this much sticking out. That's it. The rest of this should be in that hole, okay? Nothing more. You will then pull this out, and it will have stayed in the hole. The hole is now plugged. It's good to go. If you want to fold these, if you can, into the tread, okay? Or you can cut them, that's fine, but I wouldn't go too low. You want a little bit sticking out, let it sit there, all right? The tire will then be plugged. All right, guys, there you have it. That's the proper way to plug a tire on the roadside or your driveway without having to spend a lot of money at a mechanic. Now the question comes up is, can I still drive around with the screw in my tire if I'm not losing any air? And the answer to that is simply no, because you're going to be on the roadside regardless sooner or later. There are small chances that it could stay in there and never come out. Usually that happens because the head gets sheared off as you drive on it. It gets shaved down on the road. The pavement literally begins to shave the head off mile by mile. And what you're left is basically that little stud of this, the actual portion of the screw, lodged in the tire and holding the air. Can that stay in? Yes, it can. I have seen it, where I've personally experienced it, where the screw gets shaved off. I never even noticed it. I then find it sometime later, and the actual stud portion of the screw or nail is in there. A nail will fly out sooner or later, and it's probably sooner than later. It's going to fly out. A screw, depending on the thread pitch of the actual spiral that goes in to the tire, a more coarse one could stay, a more coarse one could give. It depends really on the texture of the tire. Softer rubber is a little bit more forgiving, so it can flex and help extract that screw out. A more coarse one, I mean, it really depends on a lot of variables. Temperature of the tire, temperature of the road surface, thread pitch, the angle that it went in, you know, if it's against the rotation of the tire, tire pressure. If you got low pressure, it's obviously gonna, you know, cause different factors. More tire flex, which could give way to the hole. A stiffer tire could hold that formation of the circle around the thread pitch of the screw in. So I mean, I really wouldn't leave it in. There's too many variables, there's too many what ifs. Do you really want to be doing 60, 70 miles an hour and that thing comes flying out and now you have a gaping hole in your tire and you got 2 kids in the back? So it's not something I would want to risk. The process is way too easy, and the results are safety, you know. So, you know, it's literally like putting a seatbelt on. It's just a simple reach, pop it on, and you're safer. Plug a tire and you and your family are safer. Be lazy? Well, that's your problem. So thanks for watching, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe. Like I said, if you want to watch the review on that compressor I got at Harbor Freight, it is going to be on my channel. Just scroll through and you'll find it. Type in probably compressor into the search box on my channel, or just look at my other videos. Thanks for watching. It's Stricken, and I'm out.